Hey there, in this video I'm going to talk with you about how to admin your AI company operating system, file structure, setting up AI playbooks, and then also setting up the memory so that you can quickly and easily get the information that you need in order to grow your organization. Let me jump right in. I'm going to talk with you about ChatGPT in this video, but if you are utilizing Gemini, this system is agnostic, meaning that you can utilize it in the leading language models. The big difference is Gemini is going to be on Google. So the way that you set up your file structure, your AI playbooks and things of that nature are going to be slightly different than the way that we have it set up inside of ChatGPT. So ChatGPT is self-contained, meaning that everything is within the ChatGPT ecosystem inside of Gemini. The way that you set that up is you leverage file structures and folders inside of your Google Drive, and then you pull that information into the Gemini AI agent. So I'm gonna jump right in here real quick, and we're gonna walk you through the process. This is one for our client organizations, and first thing you're gonna wanna do, the way that I do this is I actually create a folder in a shared directory. And these folders are going to consist of all of our AI playbooks based off of the projects that we have within the organization. But the first place that we start is with the actual master prompt. This master prompt here has all the information about the company, the founders and owners' goals, what it is that they're setting out to accomplish, any code of honor, code of conduct, standard operating procedures, things of that nature would be loaded up into that master prompt with the intention that that's going to set the context for the entire environment. Now let me show you how I would utilize this. So let's say we come in here and we go so we're going to create this master prompts and growth engine. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to set this as default memory. What this will do is this is going to be, the project can access memories from outside of the chats and vice versa. So chats outside of it can access the information inside of this project and vice versa. If it was project related, it would say projects can only access its own memory. Its memories are hidden from outside of the chats themselves. So these would be based off of projects. I utilize business units in order to organize this: sales, marketing, operation. Potentially you can break those up into subunits like advertising, social media, publication, viral video scripts, things of that nature would be under marketing, and so on and so forth. So that's the first step. Get our naming system here. And then this is what I do from a naming system. So I'm going to create this project here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take this master prompt here. And we say, so I'm going to get a summary outline of the master prompt along with goals, objectives, and context for moving forward as an organization and driving growth as rapidly as possible. So that's the prompting. What this is doing is it's actually setting context for all the chats that are going to go on within our AI company operating system. And these, again, can access prompting from outside of it. So if you have people that come in and just add prompts, that'll go through the process, creating the purpose, the outline, giving context associated with that. And then what I can do is I can come in here, I can proof polish and get this published. In addition to that, what I can do is go in and I can update my master prompt in order to reflect any improvements that I see on this. So this could be a daily process where I'm talking about any goals, objectives that are being altered. So I would do a annual business plan within this. Potentially, if you've gotten a freedom plan from RazoRSharp Networks, we would upload the freedom plan in here. We would create, based off of that freedom plan, we would create a 30, 60, 90, 180, 365 day plan for, in this case, it just turned 2026. So what we would do is we'd create that plan here, and then we would go back to this plan on a daily basis, and we would leverage AI in order to make sure that we're on track for that plan in order for us to complete and or achieve all the goals that we've set out within our organization within that plan. So that becomes a really easy process that we can integrate with AI. Now, with each one of those goals and objectives, you might have the low-hanging fruit that are over the next 30 days. You might have stuff that's a little bit more long-term. And then what you can do in here is you can prompt AI in order to set up benchmarks or where you need to be by when in order to achieve those goals. What this will do is it'll give you visibility in there, and then you can utilize those benchmarks in order to set reminders for you to check in, whether it's revenue goals, whether it's repair goals, whether it's hiring new employee goals. Whatever the goal is, you can set up those benchmarks, and then you can actually come in and you can have AI check in with you on reminders associated with those benchmarks. So what I would do from here is I would upload my freedom plan with my entire year's worth of projects, updates, and things of that nature. And then from that freedom plan and the master prompt, we would move into creating a project plan for the business. Let me show you how this would be done. Then what we can do is we can add the freedom plan to your master AI engine in order to create additional context. And then we can interact with this utilizing AI in order to create project tasks, remind us of what's going on, set up benchmarks and things of that nature in order to keep us on track on a regular basis. So I'm going to jump in here and say, evaluate this freedom plan. So what we're doing is we're prompting AI in order to pull out the individual project tasks that are going to increase productivity within the organization. We're going to build out a 30, 60, 90, 180 day plan and a roadmap based on the goals and objectives that have been outlined by the potential customer. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to create scheduled reminders for this contact so that AI will prompt us in regards to the outlining goals. So what I want to do is I want to come through and I just want to proof, polish, and publish this, make sure that it's all accurate, it aligns with my goals, objectives, it aligns with action items that are deemed going to be the lowest hanging fruit all the way to the hardest challenges in order to implement over the next 1 year. And this will give us our entire company operating system for the next year in order to interact with and leverage AI in order to execute on. So come from here, then we're going to go So as you can see here, I can create project tasks within here that are interacting with the actual Freedom Plan. The next run date is January 7th, which would be tomorrow. So I can utilize scheduling within here and create reminders that are interacting with the goals and objectives over the next year. And I can interact with them in a way that's going to give me the ability to get reminders, updates, and things of that nature. So I can edit these. I can set date, times, reminders, things of that nature. As you can see here, review 30-day Freedom Plan progress. And then we got our dates at 9 a.m., January 14th, 21st, and 28th. This gives us every 7 days, it's going to give us a reminder to go back in, take a look where we're at in regards to progress. Now, this can get even more specific when we're talking about our 60, 90, 180, and or 365-day plan. We can create benchmarks between the time that we prompt AI all the way into the actual goal date to ensure that we're on track from a benchmark standpoint. If your revenue goal is 10 million, what I would do is I would create benchmarks on a monthly basis where you need to be in representation of that every single month leading up to the final goal date with a check-in. Then what you're going to do is you're going to upload your revenue for that month. You'll leverage AI to determine where you're at. You'll evaluate your performance and get recommendations on how to improve, what it is that you could be doing in order to increase revenue and things of that nature on a regular basis. So this is the master prompt for your AI growth engine. What it does is it leverages a couple of different data points. It's leveraging the Freedom Plan, and it's also leveraging your master prompt. So we've gone a deep dive with our Freedom Plan into your goals and objectives. We have the master prompt, which is all those goals and objectives summarizing with an SOP that talks about the technology we're utilizing, company culture, all that kind of stuff is rolled up into the actual plan itself and delivered into the master prompt. And then from that master prompt, we can engage with it. Now, the cool part about this is that you can jump in here and you could utilize the voice mode. You can jump in and utilize voice mode on your mobile phone, and you can engage with this just like you're talking to AI, and it'll help you outline strategies on a daily, weekly, monthly, 90-day sprints, 180-day sprints, and then, of course, your entire year's worth of project planning built into the system as well. So that's what I would do in regards to the Freedom Plan. Now, if you have individual projects and initiatives on here, what you're going to do is you can utilize your master prompt and master prompt summary in order to create AI playbooks. These AI playbooks, again, there's a productivity coach in here. And I built out a couple of different ones here that are kind of standard and templatized that would be ideal for this client. One of them is a productivity coach. We got a sales coach, things of that nature. And what these AI playbooks consist of is the actual system prompt. These system prompts are the personas and the outcomes that you're looking to get for each one of these projects. Then what you can do is you can go into and build out a SOP. The easiest way that I've seen to do this is by utilizing a screen sharing application like Loom, going through systems within the organization or going through processes within the organization, documenting those processes, and then bringing that transcript and documentation backed into your AI company operating system so that you can create a really well formulated process around everything that you have going on within your organization. So if you have the persona, the goals and outcomes, and then the process that you're looking to create, you can turn these AI playbooks into project folders within your AI company operating system. So let's say that I wanted to create a new project that had to do with What I'm going to do is I'm going to do an HR growth engine for evaluating employee performance. I'm going to jump in and go project only. Create a project. And then before I start prompting this HR growth engine, what I want to do is I want to go to the master prompt. I'm going to take one of my past playbooks. And I can't do this yet, but what I would do is once I get my SOP done, once you map out the process, leveraging Loom or some other type of application where you can transcribe that process, you can even do it on your mobile device as you're walking or doing anything that you're not at work. If you got a clear process that you want to evaluate individual users or individual employees within the organization, I would divide those up based off of the desired outcome that you would like to say, like what are the performance indicators for support staff? What are the performance indicators for technicians? What are the performance indicators for salespeople, for marketing professionals? You know, each one of those business units, you would create a clearly outlined SOP that has their performance indicators built in. And then you would create a system prompt for that. And you can, once you have the SOP, what you could do is you could jump up in here and go boom, drop in an existing playbook, and then leverage AI and go, hey, based on the existing playbook, what I'd like to do is have you create an AI playbook. I'd like for the prompt, it to have a clearly defined prompt, a system prompt, along with the attached SOP that we've created inside of Loom. And then what I would like for you to do is create a system prompt that operates as an HR specialist. This HR specialist will have all the information associated with compliance, performance, evaluating employees that do A, B, C, and D. You could, connect it to different data points as it applies to HR, and you're pulling in all this information just based off of that system prompt. Once you have that system prompt created, you would drop it into your project folder. Say, hey, summarize the system prompt just to make sure that it clearly aligns with your goals and objectives as an organization. It's going to summarize that, which is going to build the data set which all future prompts will operate under. So that's adminning the company operating system. Again, it's different inside of ChatGPT versus some other language models, AI language models. But it really has to do with how you set up memory, how you begin to prompt it utilizing AI playbooks, and then how you're moving forward with that once you've created the environment in order to help you grow your organization on a regular basis. For me, what I like to do is I like to interact with it on my mobile phone, while I'm walking. That way I don't have to be tied to my desk. I can be working and iterating on the work that I'm doing on a regular basis right from my mobile device, coming up with checklists, coming up with plans, coming up and iterating on what's working, what's not working. As long as I have the context already set up, all I have to do is check the project or drop into the project folder, prompt AI, and then I'm off to the races. So it really frees up your time and resources as it applies to getting stuff done on a regular basis. This is all about time compression, right? If we can do more in less time, there's value associated with that. I believe that that's where AI has the biggest play in regards to business growth, is really creating an environment where you can work where you iterate and iterate where you work. We do that with our time back system, and then also by developing a freedom plan from that, which is a time back audit that we utilize AI in order to go through and evaluate everything that a company is doing in regards to where they're spending their time, whether it's reactive, proactive, whether it's built around their goals to drive growth for their organization, or whether it's just waste of time that can be cut or terminated. So with that evaluation, we make determinations, proactive, reactive, and then we also figure out where it is that we can either delegate, automate, and or eliminate. So that's all I got for you today. If you have any questions, I'm sure there's some place around this video where you can ask those. Please do. I'll be happy to answer any questions about our AI company operating system, time back audit, and or a freedom plan for you and your organization. Check out the description of the video for links and details. Until the next time we speak, Make today and every day a fantastic day. We'll talk with you real soon.